Hi, welcome back. In our last video, we saw how to create an MCP server for a RAG application, and then we tested an application through ADK Web. While ADK Web is a good way of testing our applications or agents, but it may not suffice in production because in production we may need our own UI with our own logos and banners, etc. And hence, invariably, we may have to create our own UI to access our application in production. So in this chapter, I would show you how to convert that application into an API and then access it through a Streamlit UI. So first we need to make the agent available as an API. We are in our base project directory, and in this directory we have all the agents that we have created till now. To start the server, we would do ADK API underscore server, hit enter. That would start the server in the port 8000. Okay. Now in this, we also have a file, the Streamlit file here, which is our UI. So next we need to run the Streamlit UI.py file, right? So for that we would do Streamlit run and the name of the file, which is ADK agents underscore UI underscore streamlit.py. So once you do that, so that would basically, if you can see here, it is starting a server, Streamlit server in the port 8501, right? So here I'm accessing that agent, right? So this is the UI. So here you can, whatever you want to put, you want to put a logo, you want to put a banner or other picture on this web, on this UI, whatever is required as per your customer requirement or project requirement, you can put it, right? Now, if you see the drop down here, I have given the option of selecting the agent, right? So you can select the basic agent, which is only the LLM. So if you ask what is plate spin, so this kind of question you to be able to answer. Right? So you got a response on what is Streamlit, right? So now if you need to have the agent with the tool, then you would select the other agent and you ask what is the weather of Bangalore today. And you are getting a response here. Then another agent, if you say tool, agent with MCP tool, is the directory that you have access to. This is for invoking that file system MCP. So because we are keeping the UI clean, it is only you are getting the final response. If you remember when we ran it with ADK web, there we were also seeing the streaming, like which agent it is calling and all that stuff. Those might be required during our development phase, but finally when it goes to customer, if customer doesn't want that and you need a cleaner UI, that is when you would have to use this kind of interfaces. Because in the default provided UI from Google, you won't have those options. So if you need to customize the UI, you would have to create your own UI, which here we are doing with Streamlit. But if you need a more rich kind of UI, then you probably would have to use something like React or Angular or Next.js or all this framework to create your UI. Similarly, if you want to have access something more, so we need records from the SQL light table employees. So here we are accessing that other MCP tool, which is the database one, right? So you can get that kind of output. Let me show you briefly the code. Agent part you have already seen how to create the agent. Here only, instead of using ADK run or ADK web, we were using ADK APIs underscore server so that you can access it as an API. You need to create the session uh, and then you need to send the message, right? These are the key things. One important thing is how you connect is here is the base URL. That is how you basically link this Streamlit program to the endpoint, because this is where we were running our agent, right? If you remember when we said API underscore server, the server was started on this 8000 port, right? So this is how the connection happens between the Streamlit and here this the drop down that you saw in the on the screen that you can select the agents that you have. And as I told in the beginning, so you for every connection you would create the sessions and then you would send the query to the agent. Yeah, this is what you basically see. uh, this is in a loop it is running. This is how you do the coding to connect your Streamlit with your agent. Another thing that you would typically do in production implementation is that you would also have an authentication module. So you can use any OIDC provider, login with Google option, you can use them. And then with that authentication, you can land on this page. So that way, by the time you land on this page, your authentication has already happened. That is how you can put some kind of a access control as well on this. So I'm stopping this video here. See you in the next video with another topic. Thanks for your time.